You may fly business class. You stay in excellent hotels. And you dine in some of the world's best restaurants. But your metabolism does not recognize all these luxuries. It only recognizes what repeatedly enters your body. The airport pastry, the sweetened coffee, the conference buffet, the late night client dinner, the alcohol that you did not really want, 5 hours of broken sleep, and then another flight, another hotel, and another restaurant. None of these choices, when they are taken on their own, looks dangerous. But when they are repeated often enough, convenience becomes what now is going to charge the interest in your blood pressure, in your blood sugar, in your waistline, in your energy, and even in your long-term health. In this video, I'll share with you how to protect your nutrition while traveling, dining with clients, and even living out of the suitcase without becoming antisocial, without becoming obsessive, and without becoming difficult. So the goal is not perfection, but it is to build your nutritional boundaries strong enough to travel with you. Many of us travel, and when we travel, most of the times, our nutritional habits, our health habits get completely out of place. And this is not weakness. It is sometimes not foreseeing what we are getting into and not planning beforehand. And this is what I want us to break down this evening. I'm Dr. Joshua Derito, a family physician. I have interest in public health and cancer prevention and treatment. Busy professionals often believe that travel destroys health routines because travel removes control. And that is only partly true. You may not control the airline menu, that's for a fact. You may not control the meeting schedules or the restaurants that your clients will choose. But you can still control your defaults. You can control your portions. You can control your drinks. You can control your meal timing and the order in which you eat. These are things that are within your control. So do not give them out. Your health should not disappear every time your suitcase comes out. Unfortunately, I've seen it many times. I've seen it in my clients. They move, they go for a conference. By the time they come back to see me, they lost their routine. They have added weight. They have given up everything. So I want us to build a simple system that will work in Nairobi, whether you are in London, whether you are in Dubai, whether you are in Johannesburg, or inside an airport at midnight, catching the next flight. So this convenience of traveling, what does it cost you? Restaurant food, you have to know, is usually designed for taste, satisfaction, and repeat business, not necessarily for your blood pressure or your metabolic health. Yes, they might consider that, but their main thing is taste, satisfaction, and repeat business. What that means, if that is their goal, you have larger portions, more oil in the food or butter, excess sodium, refined carbohydrates, sweetened drinks, sauces contain hidden salt or sugar. Research examining full-service restaurant meals found that a typical meal containing an entirely side and a half appetizer could approach 1,500 calories and contain about 3,500 milligrams of sodium before you even take the dessert or the alcohol. So one dinner will not destroy your health. So if you are just going out one night, or if you are going for one trip and possibly you go out one time in a year, but if every month you are on the move, and there are some people who experience that, then that repetition becomes the problem. When breakfast, lunch, dinner consistently come from restaurants, the real cost of the convenience. So restaurant food is usually designed for taste, satisfaction, and repeat business, not necessarily for your blood pressure or your metabolic health. So what that means, larger portions, you have more oil or butter, you have excess sodium, you have refined carbohydrates, you have sweetened drinks, and you have also sauces that are containing hidden salt and sugar. Research examining full-service restaurants found that meals found that you eat from a restaurant, starting from the entirely side and they also before you even get to the appetizer, contained about 1,500 calories and approximately 3,500 milligrams of salt before the dessert or alcohol. So one dinner will not destroy your health, but the problem becomes repetition. So when you are consistently on the go, then that becomes one of the issues. So when your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner are repeatedly coming from restaurants, airport, hotel buffets, excess energy can accumulate and without any single meal appearing to be extreme. So ultra-processed food also add another challenge because that is the convenient food to eat when you are on the go. There was a study that was done by the National Institute on Health, and they found that people eating ultra-processed food diet consumed approximately 500 more calories per day than when they ate minimally processed food. So they ate faster, they consumed more food, and they gained weight. So travel can therefore be usually difficult to regulate. It is convenient, it is concentrated, and the food is rapidly eaten, and it is also constantly available. But we must be scientifically accurate. Do not describe every food as inflammatory. Chronic food and the chronic low-grade inflammation is influenced by the overall dietary pattern, the visceral fat that you have, the poor sleep that you're experiencing when you travel, smoking, physical inactivity, infection, and also the presence of other underlying medical conditions. So one meal is not the enemy, it is the whole picture. So the danger is actually the pattern. One meal becomes the usual, not the occasional. So how can we build a nutritional anchor when we are traveling? When everything around you changes, one rule must remain constant and use the executive travel plate. When you think about the meals, think of half the plate as vegetables, one quarter as the proteins, one quarter high fiber carbohydrate, a modest amount of healthy fat, and make water your default drink. Proteins may include eggs, fish, chicken, lean meat, plain yogurt, beans, lentils, or tofu. And your carbohydrate might be the beans, the potatoes, the brown rice, the whole grains, or fruit, or a moderate portion of ugali. This is not about eliminating carbohydrates. It is about preventing refined carbohydrates from taking over the entire plate. At a buffet, sometimes you may get overwhelmed. You do not know what to do. So before you begin, survey what is available in the buffet. Walk around and inspect everything first. Then, after you have done that, choose the vegetables first. Then two, choose your proteins. Then now you can choose one starch and then build a deliberate plate. Most buffet overeating begins before a person has even seen all the available food. Because you go to the first food, you serve it, you don't know what is in the next. But when you have a picture of what is available, then you can be able to make a choice. After serving, sit down, eat slowly, wait before knowing whether you generally need more. And you do not need to taste every dish simply because it was included in the hotel bill. So you cannot pay with your health. Free food is not free when your body is what will pay the bill. Avoid that. So win before reaching the airport when you're traveling. The most important travel meal may be the one you eat before reaching home. Do not reach at the airport desperately hungry. Hunger plus delays plus limited option produces impulsive eating. So before leaving, eat a meal containing protein and fiber. You can eat eggs with vegetables. You can take a plain yogurt with fruit and nuts. You can eat beans with vegetables. You can eat chicken or fish with a salad, or you can eat oats with yogurt or milk or seeds. So when custom and airline rules permit, carry a small emergency food kit that you can take, possibly like assorted nuts. You can carry some roasted chickpeas, whole fruit, a lower sugar protein bar. You can take some whole grain crackers, a suitable packaged protein, or a refillable water bottle to keep drinking water. So foods are not meant to these foods that you carry, they are not meant to replace all the foods that are available in the airport or in the restaurant, but they prevent you having that impulsive eating. So they prevent desperation, and the successful executive, they do not wait for crisis before making important decisions. They apply, if you have learned that, then apply the same discipline in your nutrition. Then when you go for the business dinner, how do you manage to maintain your nutrition? A business dinner is not just simply a meal. It is a social environment. And we know the pressure that comes with this social environment. You feel the pressure to order what everyone else orders, drinks because others are drinking, or finish everything in front of the plate that you have. And the solution is make a decision before the pressure begins. Use this sequence. First, order water. Second, identify the vegetables. Then identify the proteins. And the fourth, you can choose a deliberate starch of your choice. And finally, after you have cleared these three, decide, do you need the alcohol? Do you need the dessert? And is it genuinely worth it? So do not allow all three to arrive automatically. You take the appetizer, you take the dessert, you take the alcohol, that will be now being overwhelmed. So you can make simple requests. Could I have a sauce on the side? Could I replace chips with vegetables? Could the fish be grilled rather than fried? Could I have a smaller portion of rice? These are just ordinary requests. You do not need to explain your medical history. If the portion is too large, stop when you are comfortably satisfied. Share it, request a smaller serving, or leave some of the food behind. Your body is not a disposal bin for what the restaurant overserved. You don't have any obligation to complete everything that you have been served. So let's look at alcohol when you are in these get-togethers. Executive culture can make alcohol feel compulsory, but in real truth, it is not. It is a choice. Alcohol adds calories. It disrupts your sleep. It weakens your decisions, and it is also associated with this increased risk of several cancers. You do not want to pay with your health. You do not want to take yourself through all those risks. So less is safer than more. So you can simply say, tonight I'm taking water. It's your choice. Or I have an early morning tomorrow. So I don't have to stay late. I don't have to take alcohol because I want to start my day fresh. Or I'm not drinking today. But please, if you want a drink, you can go ahead. You excuse yourself. So it calmly and move on. A wrong explanation often invites negotiation, and when you start negotiation, then problems come in. If you choose to drink, decide the limit before the first drink. Drink slowly, alternate with water, and never use alcohol as your sleep medication. Alcohol may make you sleepy initially, but it will fragment the second half of your night. So what helps you fall asleep is not always helping you sleep well. Then, when you are in travel, how do you protect your body clock? Travel nutrition is not only where you have problems. It is also about when you eat. Closing time zones sometimes can disrupt your circadian rhythm. Large meals late in the biological night may also add another conflicting signal to your body. So whenever practical, move towards your destination meal schedule, where you are going. Prioritize eating during the local daytime, not at night. Avoid turning midnight jet lag into a second dinner. You don't have to feed at night late if you're not used to. Keep unavoidable late meals smaller. When you have to feed late, just eat what you really need, not the whole plate. Seek morning light at your destination so that you set your circadian clock and maintain a consistent local wake-up time. This will save you a lot of agony. You do not need aggressive fasting after every flight. So if you have diabetes or you use glucose lowering medication or you are expectant or you have a history of eating disorder or you have another relevant medical condition, obtain individualized guidance before fasting. A nutritional strategy should protect your health, not introduce you to other risks. So use the 10-minute post-meal rule. What is it? After a client lunch or dinner, do not move directly from the dining chair to the car seat and then to the hotel bed. Walk for approximately 10 minutes when it is safe. You can also tell your colleague or the people whom you are with, can we take a walk as we finish our conversation? That small action interrupts prolonged sitting and it can help improve the post-meal glucose response. At the airport, walk to your gate instead of every moving walkway. At conferences, start during calls, between meetings, use the stairs when you can. Movement does not require gym clothes before it begins to count. Any movement counts. Follow the 80% travel system. Trying to eat perfectly while traveling often ends with one of the two places, isolation or rebellion. Instead, protect 7 non-negotiables. Make water your default drink. Begin every major meal with a protein and vegetable decision. Never allow yourself to become desperately hungry. Choose one indulgence, not every indulgence that is available. Walk after at least one major meal. Protect sleep as seriously as you protect the meeting. Return to your normal routine at the next meal and when it is possible. So do not return home and begin a punishment diet. You do not need a detox drink. Your liver and the kidneys already perform detoxification. Support them with less alcohol, adequate hydration, and nutritious food, movement, and sleep that it requires. The next meal is the reset. Not Monday, not next month, not the next meal. So, when you have an executive travel day, what should happen? Here is what that might look like in real life when you're traveling. For your breakfast, you can have eggs, vegetables, fruits, and unsweetened tea or coffee. At the airport, you may have a small water and a handful of nuts if you're hungry. At lunch, you can have grilled chicken, fish or beans, vegetables, or a moderate serving of rice or potatoes. Afternoon, you can have unsweetened coffee or tea with a fruit or a plain or yogurt if needed. Then for a client dinner, you can have fish or another lean protein. You can have vegetables and starch. Choose alcohol or dessert deliberately. Do not accept both automatically. After dinner, try to take a 10-minute walk. Back in the hotel, prepare water, dim the lights, and protect your sleep. Nothing about this system is extreme. That is precisely why it can survive a demanding schedule. The real cost of the convenience is not the airport meal. It is the gradual surrender of your standards every time your environment changes. You have worked hard to build your career. Do not allow that career to quietly dismantle the body you need to enjoy it. You do not need complete control. You need portable boundaries, what you can be able to control yourself. Plan before hunger. Choose before pressure. Walk before sitting again. Reset at the next meal. Do not say, I will start again next Monday. Have that consistent program. Your calendar may belong to many people, but the healthy decision still belong to you. So, if this message has helped you, then send it to one professional who spends too much time in the airports or hotels or boardroom. Subscribe to the Wellness and Wealth YouTube channel for more on wealth and the wellness videos that help you to stay healthy as you continue building your wealth. You get strategies that help protect your health while you build a meaningful life. Thank you for watching. We meet in the next one.